What is up, everyone? In this video I'm going to be showing you how to take apart and replace the LCD and glass screen assembly on your LG V30. Hello everyone, so in this video we're going to be taking apart to replace the LCD and glass screen assembly on your LG V30. First thing we're going to want to do is power the phone off. Okay, then let's go ahead and remove the SIM card and SD card tray. For the next step, we're going to need to remove the back cover of the phone. This is how we get into the phone. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to give it heat. You can use either a hair dryer, a heat gun, or you can set it on a hot plate for about 1 to 2 minutes until you feel that it is just hot enough to the point where it burns your fingers just a little bit when you touch it. So we're going to be using a suction cup to lift up on the back cover once it's hot enough. If you're going to use a hair gun or a heat gun, you're going to want to stay around 4 inches away from the phone, 4 to 6 inches, and always keep moving it around. Never stay in the same place so that you don't burn the inside of the phone. I'm going to be using a hot plate because this is what I use on a daily basis. So what I do is I set it to about 110 degrees Celsius and I lay it there for about 1 to 2 minutes. For the next step, we're going to need to use gloves so that we can hold the phone without burning our hands. We're going to get the phone with one hand. We're going to be using a suction cup. We're going to place it towards the bottom of the phone, close to the charging port, and lift up. As you can see, since the phone is heated up, the adhesive has loosened up, and the back cover comes off a little bit easier. So it gives us enough space here to insert the prying tool, this guitar pick, so that we can go around the phone slowly and carefully, removing the rest of the adhesive on the back cover. Okay, so we can use more than one pick, one for each side. Okay, we're going to go down this side now with the pick. Just go down it carefully. Then you can use one at the top so that it prevents it from sticking back on. So we're going to continue to go around removing all of the adhesive on all sides, and then finally on the top side. So it is good to give it some pressure very lightly. Okay, once you have most of the back lifted up, you can just wiggle it around and it will come out. Okay, it might have some extra adhesive on the top. You can just pull that off like that. So for this next step, we're going to need a small Phillips head screwdriver, and we're going to be removing 10 screws holding down the back cover. Okay, so now let's go ahead and remove the back pieces of the housing. So let's go ahead and start with the bottom piece, which is the loudspeaker. You can just pull it up and it will come right out. Just place that on the side. Let's go ahead and lift up the center piece here with the wireless charging pad. We can pull up from the bottom. Try and get a good grip on it. And pull up on it and it will come right out. And it comes out as one entire piece. Let's put that to the side. Now that we are in the phone, for the next step, let's go ahead and disconnect the battery so that we have no power running through the phone. So let's move the battery cable out of the way. Let's move towards the bottom. Let's disconnect the LCD cable. Down here, as you can see. Right next to it, we have the charging port cable. Let's disconnect that. Towards the top, we're going to have the digitizer cable right here. Let's disconnect it. and right above it the front facing camera cable. Let's disconnect that one. So once all of the flex cables are disconnected, we can move towards the bottom of the phone now so that we can begin to pry up on the motherboard gently. Let's wiggle it around so that we can release the clips that are holding it down. Going to give it some little bit of pressure upwards, very gentle until it completely clicks out of the clips. And then we can just wiggle it around and the motherboard will come out completely, as you can see here. So we can go ahead and put that to the side now. Okay, so the next step here is going to be to remove the battery. We're going to give it some heat on the front of the screen again to help the adhesive loosen up, and then we're going to pry it up with a prying tool like this. So we're going to pry up on the battery carefully. Be careful towards the bottom of the battery because there is going to be a cable for the LCD screen. So be very careful when prying around the battery. Don't go too far down. So if what you want to do is replace the LCD screen and glass screen assembly, what you would do next is you would have to heat it up, heat the screen up until it's hot enough, and then we would pull it out, and then we would place the new LCD and glass screen assembly onto this frame and fit the flex cables through these spaces here, as you can see on the top and on the bottom. Another thing that I can suggest is that if you're going to be replacing the LCD assembly, you can just order this whole frame. It comes together with the glass and the LCD already pre-installed with adhesive. So it will be a lot more professional and will make your life a lot easier. Okay, so once you're ready and you have your screen already installed into the frame, or you have the full frame with the screen, all we're going to do is put everything back together in reverse order. So we're going to place the battery back on first, and then we're going to place the motherboard back in. So we're going to move all of the flex cables out of the way so that the motherboard can fall in correctly and go back into the clips. And then we're going to go ahead and connect all of the flex cables back. Once you have all of the flex cables connected and the motherboard is secure on the frame, let's go ahead and place the back covers of the frame back on and give them a little bit of pressure as well to push them into the right spot. And make sure that their clips go in as well. Let's place the bottom loudspeaker here. After we make sure the speaker is in its place and settled in, we can go ahead and place all of the Phillips head screws back in. Once all of the Phillips head screws are in, we are ready to place the back cover back on. So for the back cover, just make sure that the adhesive is on it so that when we place it on the back of the phone, the back cover will stick onto it and won't fall off. So place it on there correctly and give it some pressure along all the sides so that the adhesive sticks to the frame of the phone. And that is how you replace the LCD and glass screen assembly on your LG V30.
Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like or two and subscribe down below for more videos like this. Till next time guys, peace, ciao.